In this figure, I'm going to be taking a look at Han Solo for the Saga line. This is a repack action figure, I'm pretty sure. The original was from the later days of the Power of the Force 2 line, and that one had the Comtech chip at the very end. So this action figure is kind of sentimental to me. This is another repurchase. An action figure that I used to own years ago. The original I had, I think I got on Christmas Day, and it was either 2003 or 2004, I forget which, and it may have been the original trilogy version action figure. I think there was an original trilogy version of this. It had a lot of repacks over the years, and even into the Saga collection, there was a repack of it. The only difference is I think the hair was repainted a little bit different, and maybe the outfit was just slightly repainted. And even into I don't think in the TBC line, but maybe even to a Legacy collection, I think there may have been some releases of this and battle packs and things like that. So he's had his share of releases over the years. But he's the first Han Solo I ever got in my collection, and quite frankly, up until at least the TBC days, I think this was probably one of the best Han Solos you could get. It's just a very nice action figure all around. The likeness to Harrison Ford, I think, is pretty good. Of course, it's not 100% perfect, but for being an action figure, especially the era he's in, I think it's really good. And he has a pretty good pose as well. I like everything about this action figure, and I'm happy to bring him back in my collection. But first, we'll take a look at his package here. Flight to Alderaan Han Solo. When I used to have the Millennium Falcon, and I think that was the one from the original trilogy line, this is the one I used to pilot that. So the New Hope there, of course the Star Wars banner. And advertising the action figure a little bit. Some of the other ones, we do have some of them reviewed on the channel now. The Snowtrooper, for example. I do have Wat Tambor. I'll be doing him at some point. Hope to do all the Separatist leaders and the Republic senators all in one sitting at some point. Nice image of Han Solo there, and then the description of him. Inside Mos Eisley's cantina, Han Solo negotiated a lucrative deal to transport 2 men to Alderaan, enough to pay off his debt to crime lord Jabba the Hutt. Before he can leave, the bounty hunter Greedo tries to capture him, but Han escapes. And 2003, number 27. So this is definitely a fun action figure to mess around with. And you can pretty much get him in most of the main poses that you'd want him in, even though he's a little bit lacking in the articulation department, but what articulation he does have is pretty good. In fact, we'll go over that real quick. He has the swivel at the neck and swivel shoulders. And then in his left arm here, he does have a swivel elbow. But if you have him sitting down, you can kind of have him reenacting his scene with Greedo there, where he's just kind of fiddling around with his seat there. So that's nice. And then swivel waist, and swivel hips, and then hinge knees. And then he does have a swivel just above his knee here on his left leg. They did a nice job with the paint for his TIE Fighter pilot pants here. It's the blood stripes. Pretty nice head sculpt. The paint turned out really nice as well. Nice detailing in his jacket. They did put the pockets in there. And he has his holster here. terms of his accessories, he's pretty light, but he has pretty much everything he needs. Just his signature blaster, which does fit pretty good in his holster. You can see how this action figure was pretty much meant to fit inside of a Falcon. Get him to sit down like this. Make him look like he's handling the controls. You could count his jacket as an accessory as well. You can take the jacket off, and on my old action figure that I had, I did take the jacket off a couple times, but there's not really a need to. Speaking of my old action figure, how I lost that one is pretty much the same way as all the rest. I had a couple more Han Solos at that point. I figured, well, you know, I don't really need to hold on to this anymore, but years later, I look back on it and it's like, you know, I really wish I kept that one. Well, it's nice to reacquire this. And then, of course, he does have his stand here. I do realize now that each sample of particular action figure does come with a different stand. The first Han Solo I had a darker color one, the dark gray one, while this one has the clear one. And I think this is the second clear stand that I have now. It stands pretty good on it. Doesn't really have any problems. And even without a stand, I think he stands pretty good. Yeah. Give him some nice poses. Some nice action poses. And I don't really have a New Hope Han to show you, but I have one that's very similar. This is the more recent TVC action figure. Kind of see the evolution of him over the years. This action figure is pretty good, but I have to admit, between the two, I can't really say one that's better than the other. They both have great things going for them. Obviously, this Han Solo has a little bit too much forehead, while this one is right, I think. This Han's a little bit more stocky than this one, but I don't think that's really, I don't know if that's accurate or not, but it's just something to take note of. But I like both these action figures. Of course, we are getting a New Hope Han here very soon to go alongside with the Cantina. Looking forward to getting that at some point. But despite that, I still would recommend this Han for your collection if you don't have one already. He's very affordable because he's had so many releases over the years. Whether you get the Power of the Force figure, this one, original trilogy, Saga collection, or any of the various ones from battle packs over the years, it's all pretty easy to get a hold of. I think I only paid like $7 for this, which is not bad at all. Brand new. And I'm happy to bring them back in my collection. For a little while now, I've been looking at all the Han Solos I have, and they were all TVC or Black Series versions, which, yes, those are probably the definitive versions, but I thought, you know, I really do want to go back and reacquire and get some new Han Solos from before the TVC days. And this one's definitely the best one. Perhaps I'll track down a few more at some point. But anyways, that concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for plenty more reviews in the future. There will always be more to come. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I always appreciate all your support, and check out some of the links in the description if you haven't done so already. As always, thanks for watching.